Alright, good day folks, everything new under the sun. This is going to be a fun little video. This is a little Coleman 421D camping stove, dual burner. Now this unit, I think is from the 80s. I could not find the date on it. We're going to talk about this one, what you can do with it, and also why it's a key thing to have in this day and age as a good prepper item. And it's very useful, and it will last the rest of your life if you keep it up well. Very, very handy to heat and to make food with. So I picked this unit up on Facebook Marketplace actually for $20. There is very little rust on it. Everything I did find worked. It does need some new, rubber seal in the pressure tank, for example. But I did find that the plunger in the pump was actually very soft and pliable. I don't know if it's been replaced. I did go and get a replacement, one of those. You can go to Canadian Tire and they sell replacement plunger units. I think they're just pieces of leather basically with some new attachments. But yeah, I did get the replacement, and I think it is leather, so you could make your own if you really wanted to. Now this particular unit does have the two burners on it, which is nice because you can get a pot of water boiling and then have a fry pan on there cooking at the same time. Currently we use, we had a butane one, which worked off of course, the compressed butane, and that was one burner. And so you'd have to boil your water first, take that off, put a fry pan up there, and do whatever. And it's just a lot easier, a lot more convenient to have two, especially if you have more than one or two mouths to feed. This unit does allow use of multiple types of fuel. Now this is white gas in that container that I'm showing to you. It's about $30 Canadian. It's not cheap, but that amount of fuel also should last you quite a long time. It will also run on an unleaded gasoline in a pinch. So the gas in your car, you could use that. That is kind of the second best fuel that you can use for this type of stove, as far as I've seen. You can use kerosene in it. Kerosene's a bit thicker. It doesn't atomize as well as the lighter gases like white gas and unleaded. But it will run. You can watch YouTube videos. There are guys who have tried it. It also runs on alcohol. And, there's a couple other fuels that people have tried in there as well. So multi-fuel thing, the most interesting part, and indeed, is the fact that you can run unleaded gasoline. The same gas is going to be in every gas tank of a car when stuff hits the fan. In that max scenario, you're probably going to be able to find a little bit to heat. Now, burning with wood is good too, but that creates smoke, and this doesn't. So this is a good stealth thing. Also, again, excellent for camping. Super convenient to have those two burners. So we do use, or have used, a butane stove, and the issue with that again is that you have to purchase a butane canisters for that, and those canisters are $5 or $6 Canadian. You cannot refill them; those are garbage. You throw them out. It is not dual fuel, and where are you going to get butane? Are you going to distill your own butane? No, but there's a lot of places you can find just plain old gasoline that you can then burn in this. So it ends up being cheaper ultimately for a fuel in that case, and obviously more readily available. In an emergency situation, you're going to have a jerry can or two of gasoline, but you may not have access to white gas. You may not have access to extra butane, especially during the last hurricane that occurred here. The power was out, so you had to have cash, and the only thing they were selling was, gasoline if you had cash. So as I mentioned, that the two burners are good for boiling and cooking at the same time versus the single. It is great for power outages. Again, a little bit of heat comes off it, and you can run this indoors, keep a window cracked and all that stuff. Don't do what I would do. But we have a propane stove in our house, and there's no issues running a propane stove. So in an enclosed area, you need to be careful. But in a larger house, this is not a big deal. I did spill the gas pudding in. It's hard when those containers are full to get that filled up. Now, if you get a couple extra replacement parts before they're sold out, like those leather plungers and other parts, you can get those for a couple of bucks at Canadian Tire. This thing then basically will last your whole life if you keep the rust from getting to it. Keep it painted. It's gonna work well for you, and so it's useful again with camping. And then in an emergency situation, you're always going to have this as a backup. And being able to warm up two things, it's always good to have water boiling in an emergency. So you're always going to be doing that, but then to cook at the same time just is really convenient. And you can actually get Coleman stoves like this that are actually 3-burner, same pressure tank, etc., but are 3-burner. And all these reparts, what are they? The brass tubes and components on these, you can tear that pressure tank almost completely apart, all components of it, clean them up and reuse them. They're all threaded. They're all absolutely reusable. There's nothing plastic on this thing. And what's nice is also that the instructions are actually embossed in the pressure tank and in that sticker on the back of the stove there. So someone will always know how to use this, basically. So this is my sell to you. If you find a Coleman camp stove, that is a brilliant little backup emergency stove and perfect for camping as well. And harder to find these in this day and age. People want nice, easy butane, but when things go sideways, you're going to have more access to gasoline, and so this is going to work in that scenario. Thanks for watching. I'll leave it there. We'll see you in the next video.